All right.
Whoa. We're at Artisan Cutlery Blade Show 2024, and I don't have to do anything because he makes it so easy. Russell's here, and he's going to run us through a bunch of different knives here. Run us through with the knives? No, run us through the knives.
I wouldn't want to do that here. Not at this show. What's up? All right, so why don't we start over on this side? I have a couple new releases. These just came out within the last few weeks, and we were able to get their first batch, or one of the first batches over at Blade Show. Let's start with the one CGRB model on this side. So we have the new Nova by Christian Porterfield. This is one of our first hollow ground blades, and that thing is slim. It is very tactical in nature. I love that it's kind of like that early 2000s, late 90s tactical vibe, but it's trim, it's elegant, and it's actually kind of interesting because it's kind of like a good cross between EDC and tactical because it carries really light, but it's got that Tonto, it's got that hollow ground blade. Very, very slim in the pocket, but still really accessible, really easy to use. That square frame, as much as it doesn't have that, it doesn't look super fancy, but it feels great in the hand. So I'm really into this guy. That one just hit shelves. Comes in a bunch of different colors. So again, the Nova, designed by Christian Porterfield. Going on to one that we've had out for a bit, but we have a new version of. This is the Satyr. Did this one in a battle bronze with a stonewashed black blade.
Satyr!
It's good.
Yeah.
Chris does amazing work.
That is a good looking knife right there.
The man is tightly wound like a spring, and he likes his stuff exact. So this thing is so precise in nature. I love the way it looks, and his original version had those chamfers on it, but I like how he put that milling on there with that radial pattern. It feels somehow a little different than the full tie version, but I love the look of it. I love that dark bronze. I'm really into that black. And that little kind of rough stonewash. I'm thinking like a Greek beat up shield. Just the look is great. All right, everyone's been into this one. New design from Ray Laconico. This is the Revel.
Rebel,
Revel with a V. Revel.
R-E-B-E-L.
R-E-V-E-L.
V-E-L.
Yeah.
Revel.
Had to beg and plead Ray to get this one as a production one. Finally gave in after I bought that man lunch a bunch of times. But man, this was worth it. I adore this knife. I may own the custom.
You don't live too far away from him.
It's a bit of a drive, but it's always worth it seeing him. I may own the custom of this one too, but it's so good. The design is just, it's one of those ones you can pick up as Ray's design. You see it, but it's very different from a lot of the ones that people associate with his, when you think Ray Laconico, it's like the Keen, the Yorkie, things like that, or the Gemini. This is very different. It's got that more aggressive clip point blade. It's got kind of a longer, leaner handle. It's got that little that butt area, but it still is, it's very much Laconico. And I love the finish on this. We did that dark tie for the scales, and we blasted all the hardware in the blade. So it kind of looks a bit more like some of his custom models in its own way, but I'm super happy with this.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to another Dirk Pinkerton. Love Dirk. He's very easy.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's been fun to work with. This thing is a wicked knife. Man, just give it a good grip in the hand. So this is the Kami with a K, and we
Kami with a K?
Yeah, Kami with a K. So
yeah, Kami.
This is the one. This is his take on a folding kukri. So the original proto did not have as much pronounced belly on it. It didn't have the thumb plate, and the flipper was a lot larger. So we extended the blade out a little bit, made it a little bit wider towards the tip, so it gives that more kukri Bowie look to it. That thumb plate is in the perfect position for a thumb flick or a middle finger flick. The flipper is still prominent, but not as prominent as it was in the proto, and this thing just feels like I think I said it at the last show, but the way I'm describing this thing is it wants blood. It's thirsty. This thing leans forward in the hand so nicely. The full grip feels incredible. Yeah, it wants to move forward. And that blade just looks so wicked. I love this thing. So we have this in two versions. We have this dressed up one with the tie Damascus clip, tie Damascus backspace with a little bit of an accent, and then we have just a straight up stonewashed micarta with same thing, both S90, but this just classes up a bit, gives it a bit more pizzazz. The micarta one's the user. All right, so those are all released now. They're ready to go. We just dropped them, but why don't we move on to some of the new stuff? Some of the protos we got for the Blade Show. Everyone wants to see them. Let's start over here. So the one that's kind of been the showstopper. Brand new designer. He just stopped by. He was just here a few minutes ago. Dustin Rhodes. This is the Wizard, and I'll let you hold this one because there's so much detail in this one.
So Timascus, inlay, Timascus backspacer,
floating backspacer,
pocket clip.
The clip spacer is a little gem. So, or the clip insert on the opposite side. And look at the blade to handle ratio on this thing.
Just a little,
Just a little gem in the back. But look how much blade you get on this thing.
That's a lot of blade.
It's a lot of blade for something that still is very clean and very gentlemanly.
Wow,
Action's
that's amazing.
Great. The front flipper is got that little sweep to it.
It's got all the blade you can put in there.
It is crammed in as much as possible.
But nice little button lock.
Wonderful action, really nice in hand.
That's
nice. Just that little suggestion of a harpoon up top there. There is something about this knife. I was looking at the pictures, I'm like, all right, that's kind of nice, but I pick it up and it feels incredible.
So this is bougie enough for you, isn't it, dude?
We got a full tie Damascus one over here if you want to go full bougie. Bougie blades.
Bougie blade. And front flipper as well. Well, button lock too, and
studs.
Of course ambidextrous,
Studs are nice and chunky too. They feel nice and comfy. They're round. They're more rounded and they're a little bit bigger than average. So they really are very comfortable stud to use. And there's something that just says gentleman.
That's kind of nice though.
I love
that's
that.
Just for the pocket
clip,
right?
It's a insert on the reverse
so you
side.
Can flip it.
But it looks like a little gem.
Yeah, it does.
Honestly, I'd love to see this with one single color and there's like a red or a purple gem right there. It'd be super slick. So that is the Wizard. Moving on to a little one. This one we're not sure we're going to do in steel or tie, but this is the Clio, designed by Justin Jordan, our first South African designer. Really just a good little workhorse. If you're looking for that sheepfoot design with that slight up curve to it, is just such a good solid user, good box cutter, good easy carry, comfortable in the pocket, kind of rounded when it's closed.
So deep carry, right or left hand, open design.
It's a good
button
solid
lock.
user.
Yeah. It's
Simple.
just a little guy, but you can do it, and you can jump up here and get all your fingers on it if you want.
It's a fantastic small knife, and the market for small knives is always interesting because there are people who need a small knife all the time. They're like, I gotta have a fifth pocket. I gotta carry this. This is for the office. Other people are like, I collect them because I love them, and some people are like, nope, this is just the only knife I ever have to carry. Oh, what else do you have? Just pulls out like a 6-inch Bowie. It's like, all right, cool. That's your user. But I like this one. This one has been catching a lot of eyes for people that are looking for that more discreet carry. So that is the Clio. Moving on to something on the other end of the spectrum, another design from Niche Designs. This is the Caruso. So like Robinson Crusoe, Nick wanted to do something that is kind of a all-rounder. If you were dropped on a desert island and only had one knife that had to be a folder, he wanted something that could do everything pretty well. And honestly, this thing's chunky. This thing is, for having a slim profile, this thing is a big knife. Look how wide this thing is.
Yeah.
We're probably going to mill out some pockets there to take the weight down a bit, but this thing is going to be substantial. And I love that shape. It's got that long clip point. It's kind of been, I don't know, we've had designers send in a lot more of these big clip points as of late. I'm not sure if it's kind of a more trending thing going forward, but this one felt really nice. And this one does have a dedicated front flipper. Also, it has that much more it has that fine jimping on there.
Yeah,
so it hits
it's
really nice.
Real fine jimping up here.
Feels really good, but it's big. This thing is a big knife.
Thick.
Chunky. So that's the Caruso, and then of course we got a new Dirk Pinkerton. This is the Banjara.
Ooh.
Yeah. For
trailing point type.
Yep. Very Persian. It's a I forget which language it is, but it's a word for traveler. So Banjara. This is similar to a lot of Dirk's more trailing point knives. I think that looks like a fang. It's very much like a tooth-like fang, but this, just give it a good grip in hand. As with all of Dirk's knives, you got to feel them in hand to really appreciate it. 'Cause it's pointy, it's slicey. I can't call it a straight up pure tactical, but I can see the application. But it feels, it's really a hold you back kind of knife with that big butt end.
Yeah.
It's nice. And that big hole in there, that thing opens so nicely.
Yeah, it does.
But for me, it's really that full engaged grip, that really substantial grip right there. You get the jimping there, but it just locks in the hand. Or of course you're gonna flip it around. Naturally, yeah, it's gonna work great like that. He did a specific pocket clip that is meant to keep this hook just a bit out of the pocket so you can actually grab it. Some people are gonna be like, nope, it's gotta be deep carry. Nope. Dirk said it should be a higher clip, which I actually appreciate. It's made with intention. So that's the new Protos on the Artisan side. Want to move over to the CGRB side. So
Okay.
this one's kind of it answers a lot of people who wanted something a little bit more wide than the Pirate. They're like, oh, it's nice, but it's a little bit too thin. This is the Shale. I want to say it was made a little bit bigger, but it's meant to have a much like wider, thinner blade. All these are going to have that milled texture on there, and it's another kind of Pyrite-esque knife that's meant to be just a pure functional EDC. I like the design of this. It's got just that little bit of harpoon on there. The scales are comfy, and that texture really allows for a good, comfortable grip. It's got that little bit of a fishtail on the bottom to lock in your pinky. See? It's nice. Simplicity at its best, but I do love the way that we've kind of taken that format of just a pure EDC and moved it in another direction. But I'm hoping that we'll get it just like a 1/4 inch bigger, just for my personal taste.
Yeah.
So I got two here that don't have names yet, so I'm still working on this. So I'll just let you pop that one open and see what you think. We're starting to do more hollow grinds.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got that more Japanese style Tonto on it. We're debating if we're going to keep it with the Japanese style Tonto or make it a more American Tonto with that steeper angle. Just a straight, simple handle with a really good crossbar lock. Probably want to make that hole a little bit longer. I think people have been kind of engaging a little bit lower down. I think it could extend to be a little longer, but it feels really nice. Again, simple, but done nice. And if you feel that blade, that hollow grind is real slicey. And then, you know, in this case, at this point, it's a compound because the tip there is a regular flat grind with the hollow grind down where your cutting area is. Still don't have a name for it though. Still working on that.
Okay.
But this one, the middle finger flick on this feels so good. And just it has that nice solid grip in hand. The scales are a little on the chunkier side, but I am very much into this. So
Still feels fairly light.
it is. I mean, it's all pocketed. Got another Tonto. We might be changing the blade shape on this guy entirely, but I love this button right here. This thing feels so nice.
That's nice. They have a different looking type button.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do a little cutout button on there. It's
Yeah,
fun though.
That's interesting, this cutout on the blade.
Might want to make it a little taller. It just seems to be a little bit hard to get in there easily, but some people are having problems, some people aren't. But it feels nice. And so the aluminum scales on that are nice, but I think they're a little bit slippery. So we do have a G10 one, but I'm still just like, which one works better?
Yeah, I mean, I love G10, but aluminum's not bad.
It does. It looks
Gives
classy.
it a little
It's got a
classier,
great look to it.
a little classier look to it on the
All right.
aluminum.
So last but not least, this is probably my favorite CGRB on the table. Our first design with Jacob Lundquist. This is the version. Smaller knife, giant choil in here, but a great small drop point blade. Good button lock action. I love how this front flipper is so up high, so it really hits nicely. And this guy's got a bit of a ting to it, but I think the weight of that, it's got a bit of weight in hand because of the steel bolsters.
Yeah.
And for something that's like, it's not a big knife, it doesn't need to be like heavy, but I feel like it's moving away from being super light. I love that shape though. It's such a nice small user. Like I like carrying a small knife in my back pocket personally, and this fits that bill exactly. It is comfy, it is small.
I mean, I can see a little bit of Lundquist in here, but it's a bit off his normal mark, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it's
far as the design.
Jacob, not Justin Lundquist. So
Yeah,
Chris
Jacob.
design.
Yeah, the guy who did the Q-Vist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his stuff is very like machine focused, and I really do dig his style because it's very much like it's meant to be a clean design with a lot of like I don't know how to describe it. There's something very like he's starting with traditional and moving it as close to modern as he can. It's very much just like it's a tool. It's a tool with flair.
Yeah.
And
I
this
mean,
one-
that's what my wife says about me. I'm a tool with flair.
But I really like this one. For me, this is exactly what I carry. Like, just throw it in the back pocket, use it, have, just the boxes, things I got to do in the warehouse. This is perfect for that.
Screw that. I'm going with this.
You like
right
the-
here.
you like
Yeah,
that one?
I love this one.
They're both nice knives. Like,
I
they're
like
both comfy.
I
they're
just
both-
like the overall look, design, texturing.
Ooh, shit! Ooh, good catch there. That would have gone right into my hand. Woo-hoo.
Hey, don't do that when you're on blood thinners. No.
Yeah, it's like, there's a lot on the floor now.
Yeah, I should just let it go.
Like, ooh.
Let it go. No, yeah, this is cool. This really strikes my fancy as
Yeah.
a small knife,
We got to do a few small knives.
But
They're
then
always
this is I like this.
It's a sexy knife.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I
way
dig that
cool.
one.
Yeah.
But yeah, That's
But
what we got going
I
on.
think a Seder will be popular. I mean,
has-
that just
it's-
gives you that.
It's been popular this whole time. The original one still sells well, but this one I really think that the style of it just for someone that doesn't want that full tie, you want a bit more something, you want a bit more character, you want that kind of more like, you want something that looks a bit more tactical. This is fantastic. It's a great EDC, great shape, but this, the milling and the texturing just brings it out a bit more. Absolutely love this one. But yeah, that's what we got going on.
All right. He knows everything. He's got it all covered. He's got it all covered. Thank you,
That is my
Russell.
job.
Yes.
Wonderful seeing you. Thank you for stopping
Yeah.
by.
Have a great show.
You too.